Race. Well, race is first of all your identity. When you talk about race, you're talking about your identity. The problem is that people take race and make it into something that has to do with status. You know. So when you take race from being identity to being status or class or position, or perspective or any of the other things other than identity, then you're in trouble. So, in that sense, all the issues that have to do with race are really not about race, but about something else. Because race is simply just your identity. You know, like really, race is like, say, your face, right? Like, I have a big nose, right? So, it's part of my identity that I have a big nose. Some people have a small nose, you see. So when you add other things to race, it's really corrupt. But you see, because the devil fights against our identity as humans, the devil hates the whole idea of humanity. So the type of hatred that the devil has against us is so severe and so unrelenting that he will use every platform to launch that hate against all humanity and will employ all humans to replicate that hate towards other humans, you know. So it's a constant fight of humanity against humanity, and also he will do everything to make humans fall out with God so that even God is angry at humans. So humans are being attacked left, right, and center in every way by this army and this great experience of many years of propagating hate that the devil has. You see, so by the time you start talking about race, and it's not just a celebration of the thing that God made you, but it becomes something that has to do with, your status, your history, and all these other things, then it becomes a problem. But for you to know your true identity, who are you? You were made in the image of God, and that's your identity. From the moment you know your true identity as a divine being made in the image of God, then the idea of race stops being negative. Then you find a lot to celebrate in all races. Then you start to celebrate race. You start to celebrate the Chinese. You start to celebrate the Indian. You celebrate the Taiwanese. You celebrate Japanese. You celebrate Cambodian, Nigerian, Swahili, Wolof, Zulu, Danish, Swedish. You celebrate them. You find all these beautiful things that God has made about them that are endearing, enchanting, that's how, if you get to know your true, Bob Marley says so well. He says, if you know your history, then you will know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me, who the hell do I think I am? So it really goes down to just your history, your identity, your truth. If you know it. Or what is our history, our true history? What's the history of humanity? The history of humanity is God. We're made in His image. That's our beginning, and that's our end. We begin and we end with God. That's who we are.